Hey there, Taurus Sun, Taurus Moon, Taurus Rising. Welcome to, I knew it, I kept looking for this. Welcome to your 3-month reading. I'm going to look at November, December, and January for you. I hope you all are doing well. That was a pretty tough eclipse that you went through. So we're going to take a look at thoughts, feelings, and actions for each of those 3 months. The reason I'm doing this is I'm going to take a little break from the channel. I will, before I do that, I will also put out a 2024 video for you. I am not planning to be back until at least into January. I want to go home. I'm going to go to my hometown for Christmas, and it's a really busy time at work. I've been doing this for 6 years, and I need a break. I just need to not have to put out, 12 videos a week. For a while there, I was doing 24, so I just kind of need a break, and when I come back, my channel will be a little bit different. So I do invite you to be sure and hit the subscribe and then the notification bell so you won't miss when I put out your year ahead. And also so that you will know when I am back, and you could check out the channel at that time and see if it's something that you like. It's going to be a little bit of a different format. All right, so let's take a look at what's going on here with you guys. We have in November, we're having an event. We have that new moon coming up in Scorpio, but that same week, the week of the 13th, we have Mars conjunct the Sun. That only happens about every 2.5 years or so, and so there is it's an opportunity to really focus on what kind of an action step you want to take, almost because it's Scorpio season, and it feels very much like if you're a Taurus rising, it's your 7th house of partnership, but it's this energy of wanting to kind of go within and really seek out what it is that is of value to you that you want to progress forward with. So I don't want you to miss that energy. We're sort of already in it. They're closing in on each other. And so using that to help you as you navigate through the next few months. So here we have, in the area of thoughts for the month of November, we have the 3 of water, or the 3 of cups. What's really interesting is there's a barn swallow in this. And barn swallows, I happen to know, are messengers from crossed over loved ones. That specifically crossed over loved ones are sending you a message of love. So if over the course of this past year, or maybe even longer than that, there's, because right now in November, the veil is very thin and it's very easy to access our ancestors. And so there is a definite message of love coming through. So you may, though it's in the area of thought, you may have an individual on your mind, someone that you are thinking about. And I just want to share with you that they are sending you love and support. And so if you're thinking of them, just know they are also thinking of you. With this energy, though, it's also the energy being the 3 of cups. The 3 of cups is about getting together with family and friends. We do have a holiday coming up here in the United States where it's Thanksgiving, but then we're moving toward the holiday season in general. And so people are thinking about travel plans, and just like I am, I'm planning to go back to my hometown. There's people that are planning to do things, right? And so there's this energy of wanting to reconnect. And this is looking really good for you. So we have the card of the teacher. Hold on. Honestly, what this feels like, this message of love that's coming in, I also think there is stuff where you are looking at what you have learned through your experiences. And it may have been with the crossover loved ones. What did you learn from them? How can you apply those lessons? But there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom coming in, and I feel like you are looking back a bit, right? The reunion card of the 3 of Cups. You're looking back a little bit about where you have learned things, where have you grown. But I love this because it comes with the sense of increased optimism. Increased optimism. I almost feel like that what you've learned, you realize like, wow, you know, I have come this far and look how much I've learned. And I think you have an increasing sense of optimism about the future, about where things are going and where things are headed for you. In your heart space, you've got the 7 of air. Usually I think of the 7 of air as like strategy, doesn't belong in the heart space. But this one has all these coins. And the yin and the yang, the harmony. It feels like trying to bring a sense of balance back into your life, right? There's three coins, so kind of like 3 of Pentacles, and it's there with the yin yang of the divine masculine and the divine feminine energy. And so it's almost like, where do I put, what is worth me putting emotional energy into? Where do I receive a balancing energy back? And we have the card of wisdom. It's the second time this has shown up here. There's something about what you have learned. Knowledge plus experience equals wisdom. And this wisdom is coming through your heart space. I almost feel like you are feeling your way through what brings balance into my life in an emotional way. Where do I give and receive in balance? Where do I give too much and don't receive enough back? Where do I give too little and someone else has given me too much? And how can I make all of this to create a sense of harmony and balance? 7 has a very assessing energy to it. So the 7 in Major Arcana is the Chariot. That's when we align our actions with our intentions. It is the energy of Cancer, which is the yin yang here. That's the symbol. It's not a 69 according to my sister. It's the yin yang. So, but if you look across the Minor Arcana, the 7 of Wands is knowing where you stand on the high ground and what's of value to you, right? The 7 of Pentacles is assessing, again, what's worth growing, what needs to be pruned away, what needs to be fertilized. The 7 of Cups is again the energy of choice and decision making from a variety of opportunities. And the 7 of Swords, which 7 of Air is what you have here, that's really about how can I bring more joy into my life using strategy. Because that card is about avoiding the battle by stealing the swords, right? By reducing, by creating more of a balance, maybe more of a fair fight or something. But in the Rider-Waite, he's dressed in very joyful colors. He's not stealthy. Some of the different cards are a little more stealthy, but I think we can kind of lean into that one right now because of these pentacles here. It's really about creating the balance from what we have learned. It's also as above, so below, as within, so without. And the energy that we bring into a situation will be mirrored back to us. And so how do we actively, with intention, going back to the Chariot card, how do we, with intention, decide this is the path we're going to go? I choose to put my energy into this in order to create a balance of what's coming back for me. In the area of action to take, we've got the 5 of Cups with the 6 of Swords. So there is some regret. Maybe, so the 5 of Swords, that's like that winner take all attitude. It's like when we go for the jugular, right? Oh, not 5 of Swords, it's 5 of Water. I got confused because she's freaking holding a sword. Okay, so we got the lightning, we've got the sword, we've got the fire, but it's 5 of Water. I do think it's a regret about when we really went in hard. She looks like a warrior. I think there's some regret about action that you took or an aggression that was held toward you. You'll have to decide. But here we have the Six of Air. And the Six of Air, she's sitting here, so that's like 6 swords, which is a healing energy. It's moving forward. But she has all the scrolls open, which makes me feel like, again, we have this teacher up here. We have this wisdom here. And now we've got this kind of looking at what we have learned and assessing the whole situation and garnering out of it the wisdom. And so what have you learned along the way? And with this, we have this card of music. And it says joy. And so again, I think that for you, there is a reason for increased optimism. Like as you have gone along the way, you figured out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, what's worth your time and your energy, what's not. I think that you had 3 eclipses in your sign, Taurus. That's unusual. It's usually only 2. You have 3. I think you had 3 because, frankly, you being so fixed. You're a fixed sign, right? But of all the fixed signs, you're the most fixed. The stubborn, right? And I think you needed an extra eclipse just to help you to move forward, to understand that what you were plodding along with in some arena of your life, and I don't know what that is. The cards really are not saying. But in some arena of your life, something was not bringing the kind of joy and emotional fulfillment that you deserved. So it could be career, it could be friendships, it could be relationships with your family, your children, your parents, your significant other. There's some, maybe where you live, there's something about it that wasn't bringing forward the level of joy that you should have been getting for the amount of effort that was being put in. And so there's this rebalancing energy that's going on. And this card really says to me, and there's a nice full moon in the background, which makes me feel like we're coming off the energy of that full moon in your sign, that it's about creating the joy in your life by being willing to march to the beat of your own drum, to make the music that makes you sing, that makes you dance, that allows you to feel joy-filled. And so, in a very practical way, a great way to apply this is to actually just listen to music you enjoy. Even if it's throwback to, I don't know, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. I don't know how it could be the 90s, maybe country in the 90s, I don't know. But, whatever works for you. Throwback music or something that makes you feel fulfilled in some way. I know that a lot of times I play a lot of it's probably classical. I have no idea what it is. But it's kind of got this nice little beat to it and some like this joyful thing to it, and it's been mixed with either the sound of running water or birds singing or sometimes both. But it just makes me feel like at peace and in harmony with my environment. And so look for that. I think the sound, sing along with the radio in the car. It's going to hear you. Okay, so November is about rebalancing and being optimistic about how things are actually looking brighter in the future. Like things are improving. And so it's important for you to look down the road and see that and put a little I don't know, giddy up in your step and start skipping down the road toward it. Okay, let's look at December. December, we are looking at this eclipse that we had. Okay, so you'll see it's a ring of fire, which makes me think we're talking about Libra, plus it's swords. We're talking about that new moon eclipse that we had in Libra, and the energy of it, it carries forward. And when we get to Sagittarius season, air, Libra season, feeds fire, Sagittarius season. And so on your mind, there is some kind of new beginning, so that there's a big space clearing that happens with eclipses. But there was a seed of intention that came in with that Libra one. And Libra is also ruled by Venus as you are. And Venus is now in Libra at this time. She'll be there in December. She gets there in November, but she's still there in December. And so she's at home. That energy is supporting Taurus, because that's also a home sign. It's about bringing things into balance. So on your mind, right? It's about, how do you find the balance, I think, in relationships, in relationship to something. But there was an intuitive download right before that eclipse, the Libra one in particular. There was so much buzzing going on in my left ear, like from mid-September until about a week after that eclipse. This left ear never stopped buzzing. There was so much downloads coming in across the planet, whether you tuned into the sound or not. It depends on where you are in your journey, but it was happening for you anyway. And so all these downloads, this information coming in, it was about helping you to see that there are options. And so the Two of Swords is almost as though there's two options and you're at a crossroads, right? You're at a crossroads with them. And so there's some kind of a decision point that you're coming to with that. I want to get some guidance on that before I go any further, but I do want to encourage you to consider using your intuition to help you to choose what you want. Oh yeah, see? Here we go. I love it. Okay, so that's what I thought. Look, we have the card of mystery. He's sitting in meditation. He's sitting in meditation. This white cat there. Cats are always about intuition, but this is also very conscious energy. There's a black cat, it's their subconscious. This is very conscious energy, right? And so this is really connecting in. There's a need to connect in, not through your head, but through your heart, because here in the heart space, we have the Queen of Cups, the Mother of Cups. And so this is some really receptive, highly intuitive energy. This energy is supporting your intuition, which Taurus is very high. People don't really give the earth signs the credit they deserve for how much their intuition is, but you are so connected to Mother Gaia, and she is the major energy that supports us, and you get that energy, and it's almost like you're kind of like this bridge between heaven and earth. Your ability to manifest and create what you want, but you do a lot of the stuff, a lot of the things you do is really instinctual. That's your intuition. It's a very grounded intuition, and so sometimes it is missed as being as much a part of the way you move through the world as it is. You may refer to it as, well, I just knew in my gut that was the thing to do, but you don't really think of it as intuition. You just like, well, no, I just knew that was the right answer, and and then you did your due diligence, and you're like, yeah, no, that's the way to go. And so there's something coming through for you in the heart space to have the Mother of Cups. This is your higher self, your spirit guide team. They're all over this right now, and they are bringing the answers and the messages to you through your heart space. And remember, up here, you are receiving messages from your spirit guide team. They want you to know they are in on this. They are in on this. And so you have a long way home, and it's all this pink, which is the heart space, the self-love. The long way home says, it may have been a very long, winding, scenic route to get back to the true, authentic self that you are in the heart space. Back to loving yourself, back to realizing that you are worthy of love. The long way home says, I know that you have seen a lot, you've done a lot, you've had a lot of experiences, but that long and winding road has brought you home to yourself. And I think that as that North Node traversed through your sign in those 3 eclipses, and there was a lot of things that were brought up for review, a lot of things that needed to be reassessed and reevaluated, and some things were discarded. But the thing is you're being brought back to yourself, to your heart. What is true in your heart? What is true and authentic for you? The true and authentic you, and the true and authentic desires. Because I desire is a great watchword to use for Taurus. But it's not even that. What you desire, you generally manifest. And so that belief in yourself is everything. Because the action to take, you have the Ace of Wands. To take action toward this thing. So using your intuition and listening to your heart. This is not about thinking about what is logically right and correct. That's got nothing to do with what's going on in December. In December, it's about what resonates in the heart space, what feels like home to you, what makes you feel safe and comforted and loved and safe and secure. What checks all of those boxes for you on a deeply emotional level? And then there's enthusiasm, right? We have this increased optimism here, and then this is like striking the match and going for it. And there's growth on this Ace of Wands. And so it's really taking a step toward it. You have the card of renewing your life. It's getting rid of the clutter. Radiant vitality is filling up my life. Radiant vitality. That Ace of Wands. And so I think in December you actually go, yeah, you know what? Done with that, whatever that is. I'm going to move in the direction of what it is that I really want to manifest and create for myself. And this is beautiful. When we get to January, we have the Magician. Oh, no, that's the Eight of Wands. Ooh, she looks like the Magician, though. She is creating the magic. That's you. You're thinking about, how can I? What all do I need to do to manifest and bring this in? And it comes with the Queen of Pentacles. This is the energy of growth, of nurturing, of bringing something in. I love this. This is what you're thinking about. How do I manifest and create and bring about what I want? And nobody is better at it than a Taurus. Nobody has that skill quite the way a Taurus does. And it is part of that has to do, some people think that you are the Empress energy. I actually think the Empress is just all of the queens. Well, the Queen of Pentacles is part of the Empress energy. There is this ability to grow, to manifest, to create through using like this Wands energy, the Queen of Wands, right? This ability to create something out of seemingly nothing. The clarity of thought that comes through with the Queen of Swords, right? And then there's the Queen of Cups, which you have here, and the Queen of Pentacles, which you have here. And so as you bring all this in and bring it together, you have an opportunity to really manifest and create something for yourself if you stay out of your head. Stay in your heart space. Don't get sucked into your head. Ooh. All right. All the glitters. There is wisdom going back to this teacher energy that you have learned. The Queen of Pentacles, to me, she's the gardener. She's the one that can walk into the garden and say, that tree needs to be pruned right here to make it produce more fruit. This flower bed over here needs more fertilizer. I need to water a little more here, water less over there. She can look and assess. And so you have all the glitters. This card says that not everything that glitters is gold, but I think that you have learned that along the way. Now's the time to apply that information, because where you have felt left out, discarded, right, where you have felt the regret, the Five of Cups over there, these are to clarify that because I wanted to know exactly what we were talking about. So where you have felt left out, we have the Orphaned card, but with it comes the deep knowing. And look, it's an eclipse. It's the sun and the moon lined up. The deep knowing that came through the series of eclipses that makes you understand where you can, Queen of Pentacles, fertilize a little more, water a little less, How do we bring the balance back in? There's all this wisdom that came through. And this deep knowing is like understanding that there are things that have to complete a cycle in order for something new to begin. It's working with the energy. It's doing it almost on an intuitive level because it's such a deep knowing. And then it finishes up with the card of happy, happy. Like knowing what makes you feel left out and what makes you feel happy. Knowing that if I do this, I can create abundance, or, you know, so it's really about picking the mindset too. We go back to here, it's about picking the mindset. You could choose to live in the energy of lack, or you can choose to live in the energy of joy and promise. So she's standing on an egg with a little key on it, a little keyhole. And to me, I feel like you hold the key in your hand. You know on a very deep level. And I think that at times you may have made choices based on what looked like money, what looked like abundance. On a veneer, they're saying veneer, but when you scratched away at it, you realized it was just gilded. It wasn't solid gold. And so not all that glitters is gold, but I think you figured this out. So the masks are sitting on top of it, which tells me it's been unmasked. Something in your life that you thought was solid, good, money, and I don't necessarily mean money. Could have been a relationship that you thought was solid gold, right? But it turned out to be fool's gold. And so here's your chance to look at something and what is real. And then what actions do you need to take to nurture and grow the happiness in your life? The knowing of what to move away from and what to move toward. And so here in your heart space, there's a reunion kind of energy here. We have the Three of Cups. This is the celebration. This is the coming together. This is it's all of the energy too, right? It's the maiden, the mother, and the wise one. It is all of this energy in the heart space, this intuitive knowing energy that is there for you to draw on, to be able to really figure out what really matters to you. Ooh. Okay, so you have accept and receive. That is this Mother of Cups. Accept and receive. That is this yin-yang over here. And in a lot of ways, it's the Queen of Pentacles. She's a receptive energy. Accept and receive what the universe is trying to bring to you with this Three of Cups energy. You have Creator Fire, which is just a continuation. That spark, that action, that first step that you took back in December, this is about feeling in your heart and fanning the flame and allowing yourself to really become more passionate about whatever this new project, this new idea, this new thing that you're doing, this new relationship, whatever it is. And then there's this. It's like a flower of life that's starting to grow. It's not the complete one. It says the edge of evolution feels messy. Taurus, I know you don't particularly like change, and it feels messy and uncomfortable. And eclipses make everything feel messy and uncomfortable when we have to leave something behind that just really wasn't working in order to step forward onto our path. And it feels messy. But there's so much joy in the creation process. You know, I don't know if you were ever into finger painting. I mean, geez, that is messy as anything. But there's so much joy in it. It's like if you demo a building so that you can reconstruct it, or You know, just like anything, if you've ever done any big renovation, there's the demo process. It's super messy, but then things start coming together structurally, right? And that's what this feels like. Like something in your life needed to be demoed. Some aspect of your life, you know, where you live, how you live, who you live with, where you work, how you work, you know, who you work with. Some aspect got demoed. And now you're getting ready to move toward the reconstruction, and it's going to have you a little up in your head. And that is why I'm really going to encourage you to remember to stay in your heart. Your intuition is strong, and you should be using it. And your excitement and your passion for something is strong. And be open to receiving the abundance of the universe. Because here in your action cards, it's super interesting because here we have the chalice. But this is actually the Knight of Swords. And so the Knight of Swords is having trouble. It's trying to express how it feels. And it's struggling. And here we have the Nine of Swords. And so I think that the problem here is that you are trying to think your way through the next action step, when if you remember that your strong suit is just knowing what needs to be done, not overanalyzing it, but making choices based on what in your heart is calling you, and then you will be extremely successful in a very short order. So here we've got this vulture sitting there. And to me, a vulture always says, there's all these bats too, the intuition is trying to come in, but a vulture always says nothing was wasted. There was always something, and there's a cyclical nature to things. And I think that you were pushed to make a change, either through someone else's actions or just through, I just can't be here anymore, I need to make this change. It was just got too uncomfortable. And for you, that initial momentum of, okay, I'm renewing my life, I'm making this change, the optimism that comes with Sagittarius energy, right? When we get to Capricorn, Capricorn's always about overcoming the obstacles and getting down to business and doing the stuff that needs to be done. And as we finish January, we're into Aquarius season, and Aquarius season's that squares your energy, and that's when the thoughts start coming in and they start making it more complicated for you. And you're being encouraged to be like the duck. To be like the duck. So a duck is in the water, right? It's on the water, so you're in touch with your emotion. It propels itself by using the energy of the water, right? And the way forward is by using your, your emotional energy. Healing, skillful navigation, and ease. I navigate the world of spirit, creativity, and emotion with grace. You may find also the journaling helps you to get the thoughts out of your head and onto paper, which will allow you to get back to sleep. So that's something to keep in mind. If it's like your thoughts are really keeping you up, you're worried about, I don't know, bills, what I'm going to do tomorrow, what needs to be done, whatever the little thing is in your head. Maybe it's I'm not worthy of being in a great relationship because they just keep falling apart on me, or whatever this is. Get up and journal on it. Write it down. Make your list. Do whatever you have to do. So get it off of your mind and onto paper, and then deal with it tomorrow. A good night's sleep is really important. So you will move through tricky circumstances without becoming entangled in drama, negativity, or ego. Your inner self knows how to guide you, right? This Mother of Cups here, the Swan. The Swan is about a big transformation, right? What seemed ugly ended up being beautiful and strong and fierce, right? Like a swan is strong and fierce, man. Nobody messes with the swans on the lake. Not even boats. You just don't mess with them. Your inner self knows how to guide you through any situation. Do not worry about what others think or say about you. right? What other people think about me or say about me, it's none of my business. The truth will shine through and nothing else will stick to you. You are encouraged to look beyond the worlds you know into other realities and ways of being, trusting that you can adapt and thrive. Use nourishing oils to create a protective barrier for your skin. So in the harsh winter, I actually do this most of the year though, is when I get out of the shower, I put on lotion and it creates this moisture barrier and keeps my skin from drying out. But this is almost feels like it's on a spiritual level for you. And so, you know, if you do this, and you can do it with just plain old coconut oil or whatever, right? But if you do this, when you do it with the intention of this is a protective barrier that will allow things to roll off of you like water off a duck's back. Like other people's stuff, whatever their deal, whatever their drama, you know, no drama, right? No drama. So, as you apply the oil, look at that. As you apply the oil, imagine that you're also applying a layer of psychic protection. Sorry. I actually didn't see that. Okay, so what I see for you, Taurus, is that you're kind of going through an emotional roller coaster over the next 3 months. And if you can stay in your heart space and believe and have the faith in what's happening here, that things are really actually taking a turn for the better. And as long as you don't worry about, if you keep your ego out of it, what other people think and say doesn't matter. What matters is, are you increasing the amount of joy that you feel in your heart through the activities that you are engaging in, right? So really, you know, this is about protecting your own emotional sense of joy and stability and well-being. Do those things. That's what really matters right here. So I will stay on Facebook so you can connect with me over there every day. I would love to see you over there. Again, I have one more video coming out for you. We're going to take a look at 2024 and kind of give you a heads up around what's happening with that energy. And then I'm going to take a little hiatus because I really, really need it. And so if you subscribe and you hit the notification bell, you'll know when the 2024 video comes out. And you will also know when I'm back. I think at the end of January is kind of what I'm aiming for, but we'll see what happens. So you guys take really good care of yourself. And until I see you next time, you know, this is an opportunity for you to really put yourself first. Love yourself, do the things that are good for you, and follow that very strong intuition that you have. All right, you guys take care. I'll talk to you again soon.